Hello, Pisces. All right, so this is your message for the month of November. So we're asking the question of what wants to come forward for Pisces for the month of November. What wants to come forward for Pisces for the month of November, Pisces? Okay, here we go. Pisces. We have the Ten of Swords, King of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Five of Swords. Okay. Okay, Pisces, let's see. What's going on here? Well, the Ten of Swords is about an ending. It is something is just done with. And so either, it's something that you have to just like seriously like be done with, let go of, or it's something that is outside of your control that is ending, and you don't have any control over it. It's done. And like, for example, in a relationship, you may not want an ending, but the other person may want an ending. And so you really don't have any control over it, but you have to accept the fact that it's over, it's done. But what I'm really getting from this card is that there's something that you've been doing. And I do feel like this is work related, in the sense of like not necessarily like a job, but something that you're working on has met its end. It's done. It's like I feel like you've put a lot into it, and it just hasn't been producing the results that you wanted. So this is a hairless cat here, and I feel like this cat has like I just keep having this vision of a person who's like pulling out their hair. And so this is something that is like you put your all into it, you've done what you could, and now it's just over. So now it's just time to really let it go. And I feel like it's kind of related to work and money, of course, or something that a project that you were working on that was hopefully going to bring you in some additional resources, or even just kind of put you in a place where you feel more secure and comfortable, but it's just not happening. And the energy that I'm getting from this King of Pentacles is that this ending feels very threatening to you, and your identity, right? This identity that you're wanting to achieve as the King of Pentacles. And let me roll that back a little bit. It's not that you're wanting to achieve this. You are this already. You already are the King of Pentacles. I feel like, for this month at least, you are very much in this energy of, being someone who works really hard, who has what it takes to put into developing these different resources for yourself, developing some financial security. Yeah, and I feel like this ending here really affects that image that you have of yourself, or that knowing that you have of yourself. Well, it's not a knowing. If it's affecting it, it's not a knowing. So, but I do feel like it's kind of creating this little bit of a feeling of failure, of being unable to like truly manifest this thing that you are working on. And it feels like a threat to who you are. However, okay, I want to be very clear that it is not a threat to who you are. And oftentimes, in fact, probably all the time, when we work on something that doesn't quite work out, and it's probably for some good reason, okay? So either you're just not in the space, like the context is not right, like whatever you're trying to do, There's other factors that are at play that are just not working for you. An example of this would be like, like trying to start a business when you also have like maybe, a sick child or a sick parent that you're taking care of, or you have just all of these other like work obligations that you are trying to do, or just being like really overloaded with things to do, and it's just like your headspace is just not there, and so it's just something that right now in the context is not working. Okay, so that's just an example. I'm not saying that that's specifically what it is that you're going through, but I do feel like this thing that you're working on, you can't really blame yourself for it, because it's not really the right time, the right environment, the right context, and it's like that for a reason. And I do feel like there are other things that are asking for your attention. So do not take it personal in the sense of where you feel like it's affecting your identity, your ability, who you are. It's not. Okay. Instead, like really understand that, regardless of whatever the situation is that has to come to an end, that is done, that's over with, it's actually bringing you closer to wholeness. Okay. So the lovers, I love the lovers card. It's a great card. It's really, it's a card of wholeness. It's a card of unity. It's a card of, bringing together two halves, bringing together the masculine and the feminine into wholeness. And it is a very beautiful energy because, in the Rider-Waite deck, if you see this card, it has like very specific imagery. There's an angel overlooking the whole scene, really communicating that, this is divine. The sun is present. The sun is all about illumination, seeing clearly. The lovers on the card are both naked, and so that really expresses like just this rawness and this vulnerability that is present, and that is the rawness and vulnerability that that is really needed to bring two halves into a whole, or bring your parts into wholeness. And that is really what is happening through this process. So this ending that is present here for you is not a threat to your identity and who you are, but rather it is bringing in more wholeness for you. It is bringing these fragmented parts of yourself together into unity, right? And I do feel like it is this ending that is really sparking this wholeness. So when you begin a venture, whether it is a relationship, a job, travel for exploration, or anything like that, when you do it from a place of the lovers, from a place of unity and wholeness and balance, you're doing it from the right foundation. Okay, so let's put it that way. It's like the energy of the lovers is a very beautiful energy that if you are in it, that is a great place to start something new. That is an excellent place to start something new, because you're balanced, you're whole. It's just a really great energy to start a new project. Then we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is this idea of it's very much an ego thing, right? It's very much wanting to move forward with something regardless of the impact it might have. It's very much like, I want this, I want it now, and I don't care whose feet I have to step on to get there. Or it's kind of like this winning at all cost, right? And so like we see this cat here, and they're in an okay position, right? Like they have the star forming over over its head, and star is an energy of light and hope, and faith. But at the same time, he has an eye missing, right? So he's really, he may have gotten what he wanted, but he lost an eye in the process, right? And so I kind of feel like that's why this ending is really important for you, because if you just continued on with it, just pushing, perhaps you may have gotten to the place where you wanted to have gotten, but you definitely would have lost something in the process, and not something small. It's not like losing, sleep, or even though losing sleep's not small, but it's not something that you can get back. This cat, this energy here is like having lost an eye. That's pretty big, right? So, really try to see this this ending as a blessing in disguise, because now you're in this energy, right? Like you have the Lovers now here for you for the month of November. And again, like I said, that's where you want to build from, right? That's where you want to create from, because in this space of wholeness and balance, you're not going to push forward in a way that causes you to lose something in the process, to lose part of yourself in the process. Okay, so this is a really good energy, and let's really focus on the alchemy here, the transmutation of taking this ending and really transforming it into something really incredible for yourself, which is the energy of the Lovers. And that is what's present for you for the month of November. Okay? Alrighty, Pisces. It's gonna be a good one. All right. Take care.